All right, good evening, guys. Our property is still selling 3 weeks out from Christmas. We're going to tell you what's on the buyer's shopping list and if the rumors are true that open homes are busier than ever. Stay tuned. Good evening.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. It's been a busy day.
It has been a busy day. Is it true you've just come back from a photo shoot at 7 o'clock?
Yes. When my 7:30 was rushing for here. Been a busy day.
That's a good sign that there's property coming to market then.
Yeah, very much. Ready for Christmas.
Ready for Christmas. Tonight's topic is our property still selling 3 weeks out from Christmas. If you're looking for a new home, have you left it too late? If you're hoping to sell your home, is it too late? And what's on the buyer's shopping list?
Definitely. So that's a very interesting topic, and I don't think many people give it a good thought.
Yeah.
And know what's really happening on the market throughout the holiday period.
Well, it's hard if you're not, transacting properties every day and you're not used to selling through a Christmas and a New Year period to judge what is normal, because we are very fortunate to work all the way through the year. So we've got a pretty good understanding of when times are busy and when times are slow, and this certainly doesn't feel like a time that's slowed down.
No, not at all.
Leading into the holiday period, everything from our open home numbers have been quite consistent over the last number of months. The properties that are being put together, the deals that are being put together are generally like essential deals, people that really have a good reason to move.
Yes, definitely.
But the numbers don't lie. The facts speak for themselves.
Yes.
And did you want to open up with Sydney clearance rates, auction clearance rates?
Definitely. So last Saturday, the auction clearance rate was 62%,
Wow.
which is 5% higher than last year.
Okay.
So even the Christmas coming nearby, so the people are still out there.
Yep.
Getting their property ready for Christmas.
So that's not just Novak auctions. That's Sydney-wide. And that's, averaged out over hundreds of auctions being called all over the state. So it's a really good, metric to, understand what the broader market is doing on a whole. And 62% is a pretty balanced market. And then, obviously off that number, you're going to have a number of homes that will be sold prior to market, prior to auction and post auction as well.
Definitely.
So not all of those sell under the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. And these things are from realestate.com.au. Like Billy mentioned, not from Novak data. It's from realestate.com.au. So you can even double check the data if you may.
Jump online. It's all on there. But that's a pretty good number to kick off the show and give people a bit of an idea as to what is happening on the ground in the Northern Beaches.
Yes, so in the Northern Beaches, like literally we're running day in, day out. Like Christmas is coming nearby, so people want to sell before Christmas or buy before Christmas. So the market is pretty hot at the moment.
Yeah.
Like Billy mentioned, the open home numbers are crazy. The people inquiring are crazy. They're calling crazily. And like I mentioned, I'm just back from photo shoot for a new property to just launch in the market. So I don't think Christmas will stop people.
No.
So I think they are using that as a good opportunity, because your office will be closed, your work will be off. You have a family members nearby. You can say, hey uncle, hey dad, I'm looking to buy a house. Why don't you tag along? So it could be a great opportunity for the buyers and homeowners to be in the market and buy the right property.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I know our busiest open home on Saturday just gone was 13 groups through a 2-bedroom apartment.
Exactly.
That averages out to, not just an individual person. When we say group, that's quite often a family. So, that, averages out to times by 3 or 4. You've got maybe 30 people wandering through an open home at the same time. That's pretty busy.
That was massive. And I was there just checking details all the time. So it was madhouse over there.
Yeah, lots of names and numbers, lots of conversations being had. And you're on the coalface dealing with a lot of buyers at the moment. What are the sort of general conversations having? Do people want to try and get in before Christmas? Do they want to just try and position themselves for the new year? What do the buyers want?
So yeah, what I've found so far is lots of them have the misconception like, throughout Christmas everything is closed.
Yep.
There won't be any property in the market, and even if some property are in the market, they're gonna pull out.
Yep.
Because no one wants to move before Christmas. But the thing is, you can always play around with settlement date, so you can lock in a property, everything can be done, and you can move after Christmas.
Yeah.
So giving that knowledge to the buyers out there, they'll be like, oh, cool, we never knew that could be done. So getting that information through really helps. And I think I'm really, really looking forward to sell one property on Christmas Eve. That would be the best thing. And same with the buyers too. Oh, I bought a property on Christmas Eve. So that would be really exciting, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can buy property all the way through this period.
Definitely.
You don't necessarily need to wait for your solicitor and broker to get you in an unconditional position. You can, take advantage of a cool-off period or an extended cool-off period over the Christmas break. And I think, ask the question, if your broker and solicitor are going away on a holiday, that's probably something you want to find out before you actually get your offer accepted on a property. Because if you're finding that out as new news at the point of offer acceptance, it might throw a spanner in the works.
Exactly.
But yeah, you're right. You can buy a property with Christmas Day in the past. We've even sold a property. You can buy a property on New Year's
Eve. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's certainly a good story.
Definitely.
But it is interesting. A lot of are the buyers that you're dealing with looking for a longer settlement than 6 weeks, or what are they
at
talking
this stage?
to you about?
So we're roughly averaging. We sold few in the last week, and it's averaging between 7 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
Because few solicitors are closed in the first few weeks of Jan, so just accommodating according to that.
Yep.
So most likely looking at 8 weeks is been the most common at the moment. I think it'll go lower as we move more towards Christmas.
Yeah.
And aligning according to where the solicitors are open, because it's a big legal stuff. There's a lot of paperwork involved. So
yes, making sure your solicitors are around for when the property settles. That's a big one. Yeah. And are any buyers having trouble with finance?
Not actually. I think it's getting more common to people to work around Christmas.
Yep.
Because if you are there when no one is working, I think that's when you get result.
Yep.
And the harder you work, the better reward you get. I think most of the people are getting this time. The finance brokers, solicitors, real estate agents, they're working throughout the holiday period to get that extra fruit or getting that extra hard work in there. So it's something for the family later on. Yeah,
and for the people that are on the market as well, selling, they're in isolation, not in competition. That's really, really powerful to have your property open over this period. Because what not a lot of people talk about is that the buyer sentiment and the buyer emotion of going through buying a property, that doesn't exactly just turn off over Christmas. So overall the sentiment in the market is quite positive at the moment. They're seeing other properties selling around them.
Exactly.
They're seeing other buyers alongside them at their open homes. They're nice and busy, and the guys that have got the front door open, and particularly over this time of year for the buyers, they know that they're pretty motivated.
Exactly.
No one's selling at this time of year if they're not, generally, got a good intention to, try and put something together. I think it's a really nice combination of, a transaction coming together.
Yeah, can't agree anymore. They can't really just turn off the emotions just like that, eh?
Yeah.
So, even on a holiday period, you might be at home just looking at properties because you have that thing going on ahead.
Yeah.
You need to buy a house. So.
You got time off.
Yeah.
And it's like the first thing you can do for your new year. Your New Year's resolution, buy a property.
Yeah.
And then you've got to start this year, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
So it is, it's good. What's on the buyer's wish list for the apartments and the houses that you are coming through? Are there any things in particular they really want?
So with 2-bedroom apartments, I think in the northern beaches, they're mostly looking for internal laundry.
Okay.
And top floor, so they want a nice view, not wanting to look at a different apartment.
Yep, privacy, bit of an outlook.
Yeah, a bit of an outlook.
Yep.
And a bit of internal laundry has been the most, I think, demanding in terms of 2-bedroom apartments.
Okay.
And with houses, pretty much a good, nice and peaceful area, a bit private backyard, good-sized bedrooms. I think that's the most common anyone would want.
Yep.
If someone want to go any fancier, a pool at the back, good nice view or something fancy, a spa or so inside the
space for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the main things.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you think?
I think the room for potential is always always nice for many buyers coming through that are particularly pushing themselves into the next price point, whether that be upsizing from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom apartment, or from an apartment to a freestanding home. Always having the potential to add value, I think, is nice for a lot of buyers that are making that jump. And then certainly, there's a lot of sort of things on people's wish list, like an internal laundry, or certain things that are I guess you can cater for in preparing your property to come to market.
It's important to the particular buyer.
Yeah. So if you want advice around that, reach out and we can tell you how you can sort of best prepare your property coming to market. And that's not always styling necessarily. It's just tweaking certain things.
Exactly. What do you want to highlight while taking photos, or writing that description right, so we can get that right trigger of emotion again to the buyer when they're reading and looking at the photos there.
Yep. Yeah, it's good advice. Anything else you need to talk about?
That's pretty much it. Like we mentioned, we were 24/7, so we are open throughout Christmas. If you need help throughout buying a property or anything. Billy has great experience. He's one of the greatest in the industry. So
Thank you. We're here on the ground, ready and able to help. But we're 3 weeks out from Christmas now. It's not too late to put your property on the market. In fact, I think it's a really good time while stock levels are tapering back. There's been about a 40% change just in DY over the last 2 weeks. Which is really, really big change. It sounds a lot, but realistically, we were talking about an environment where there was limited stock in the first place. It's a good time to be looking, and if you need help on your search, or anything in between property related, we're here to help.
Yeah, definitely, anytime.
All right, guys, have a good evening.